Well, hello there, and welcome to another edition of Litter Media Live for this January 10th of 2024. With the ever-capable hands of Aaron Glandon to my left, I'm Dan Ramey. Thank you for watching Litter Media to start a Wednesday. We're in the middle of the week already.
We are in the middle of the week. This has been a quick week.
It has been. Not quite as quick as last week because I wasn't here last Monday, was it? And it was right. We had a holiday. And
then you weren't here Friday?
Yeah, it seemed like it was a 3-day work week.
Right.
But then I worked all day Saturday, part of Sunday. It just seemed like there was no weekend. Mm-hmm. So, that's how it goes. It still beats digging ditches for a living.
That's true.
On my side of things, you may love digging ditches, and that may be something you enjoy doing, but not this guy. That's just too much hard work.
What's funny is, at the Parks District, I did plenty of digging.
Uh-huh.
We dug out honeysuckle trees that were invasive because we were making a new hiking trail, mm-hmm. and that was not fun.
You didn't like that, huh? Smelled great, though, didn't it, honeysuckle?
Well, it smelled fine.
Yeah?
But we were sneezing all the time because of all the pollen in the air.
True. There are drawbacks, I guess, when you work in the great outdoors. So we're glad we rescued you from that.
Yeah. They did give me a machete on occasion, though. So.
Oh, my. No machetes here, buddy. That's dangerous. You could poke an eye out with that thing.
Uh-huh.
Or worse. Probably worse. All right. We want to take a moment before we get into the program today to give you an update on Mike. This time yesterday, he was having a tooth extracted, and we can tell you he made it through A-OK. And I don't think we're violating any HIPAA laws here in any fashion, but because he was keeping you up to date with it anyway. But he made it through A-OK. He did send one text to me that I had to kind of discern a little bit because I'm like, is he still on laughing gas here? But we hope that he'll be back tomorrow. I told him if you can't make it Thursday, don't try. Just come in Friday if you want. Take the rest of the week if you want. But those of you concerned, Mike's doing fine from what we understand.
Unfortunately, we didn't get any videos of him when he came out of surgery.
We did not. That's not that there weren't attempts made, because I did have a little text conversation with his wife and daughter yesterday. And I did get a picture, but I swore I was not going to show it.
Can you show it to me off air?
I can show it to you off
air.
Okay. So, but it will not go any further than that. So, and the reason for that is because I know something like this may happen to me down the road. Mm-hmm. No reason to incriminate myself early on, right?
Right.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at what's happening with our forecast. We had a bit of, not really a dusting of snow, it's just too wet, really. But I know to the north of us, there was a mixture of snow and slush and everything else. But we will see that continuing through part of today. Temperatures will drop down to around 29 degrees overnight, and then we'll be back up into the 40s again. As it shows right there, looks like we'll have a little bit of sunshine, but look at those crosswinds coming at you. Man, it's like the little arrows are racing across Ohio, even as we speak.
And who's going to win? Not us.
Yeah, and it is going west to east, so if you're one of those people that parts your hair on one side, you may walk backwards. If it's like parted on your right side, if you walk backwards in the wind, then it won't mess with the part. You may fall over backwards over something, and I wouldn't say that'd be a safe thing to do. Unless you have someone assisting you.
You don't have to worry about it.
No, that's right. Those days are long gone for this cat. You bet. All right, coming up in a moment, so look at what's making news for us today and a look at sports and this date in history, not one, but two items to share with you today. That's all just ahead. But first, let me tell you about our friends at Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. If you've got an issue with your plumbing, they can come take care of that for you. You might be drowning or whatever the case may be because you're down in your basement and everything. Get out of there. Let the people who know what they're doing take care of it for you. Call Accurate, and they can handle the heating and cooling situation for you, too. They are your trusted comfort advisor. They've been in this for almost 5 decades. Accurate Heating, Cooling, and Plumbing. Click on this ad when you're at littermedia.com. It takes you right to their website. For our Litter Media radio listeners, that is AccurateHVAC.com. News is next.
If you can't give true love to me, I'll understand. Just
It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Michelob Ultra.
Each week, Litter Media presents the Neil Coleman Insurance Wyandotte Mutual Player of the Week. If you have an athlete to nominate, any amateur athlete is eligible. Simply visit littermedia.com and click on Player of the Week. At the end of the year, we'll announce the Player of the Year. Make your nominations now at littermedia.com. Click on Player of the Week.
Find a career you love with Pickaway Ross Adult Education. Skilled trades careers are in high demand with no signs of slowing down. Pickaway Ross offers career training programs with expert instructors and hands-on learning tactics to create a variety of opportunities. Visit our website for more information.
This is Andy Tomlinson. When ensuring what's important to you, our agents are there when you need us the most. Tomlinson Insurance, for the best coverage at the best cost. Visit us online at tomlinsonins.com to learn more.
We have prepared news stories for you always on our website, littermedia.com. Just take a look, see what we have for you. I see the bald eagle right there. We'll explain what that is all about coming up here shortly. Also, you can find details on our Facebook page and Litter Media X, formerly known as Twitter. And, of course, you can always follow us on our YouTube channel.
We're all over the place. You can't get rid of us.
Everywhere you turn, everywhere you look, you bump into Litter Media. Let's start with kids or cribs for kids. This is something coming next month down to Waverly, meeting the needs of young mothers in Pike County, needing a safe sleep space for their babies. Cribs for Kids is a nonprofit organization which provides cribs to babies whose mothers can't afford them. They also educate mothers about the dangers of unsafe sleep environments. If you remember, this has been back in the 1990s, sudden infant death syndrome became something. And they were trying to figure out what it was, why it was. Well, people were placing their babies on their bellies to sleep, and that was not healthy. So the doctors were saying, let's try the back to sleep method. Put the child on his or her back. And that changed up how the kids reacted in their sleeping.
Right.
However, the lady who started Cribs for Kids, she was on a sudden infant death syndrome panel in Pittsburgh, and she discovered that most of these deaths that were occurring were also from low-income families, and so they got to looking a little bit further into it, and they realized that kids weren't sleeping in the crib and dying. They were sleeping on couches, adult beds, things of that sort, and you think the baby is sleeping while they're not really able to breathe, and that's where these deaths were coming from. So here comes Cribs for Kids, and now it is all across the nation and coming to Pike County to help out with young mothers. There are some stipulations you need to meet. You need to be at least 32 weeks pregnant and also have a child that's under 1 year old. So those are some of the stipulations. But Pike County WIC program is going to be handling this. So if you want to find out more, go to that web story we have for you there. You'll find the information on how to reach the people in Pike County for Cribs for Kids. Pretty cool idea. They've been around 25 years now.
That's longer than I've been around.
Precisely. So, do you remember having a crib as a kid?
I don't remember.
Probably don't.
I
None
probably
of us
did,
do.
but I don't remember.
Yeah, but not many of us do remember that. I do recall when Dan Jr., we brought him from the hospital home, and I thought to myself, oh my gosh, this is real now. Now what do we do? And so he made it through A-OK. Most kids do, I think. But again, it has been a problem in the past. So Cribs for Kids, thank you. We appreciate them coming to Pike County. Winter happens to be much like you see all these deer running out and back and forth in front of you and everything.
Oh, I know about deer.
A lot of that is because they're chasing each other and the other is going, catch me. And the other is like, I'm coming to get you. And it's that mating time, you know? Well, it turns out that it's beneficial for those wanting to see bald eagles too, because this is that time where they start doing their nesting and they start doing their courting, and you take a look and you find Sam the eagle. There he is. Isn't that a beautiful bird?
Yeah.
Absolutely beautiful bird. We were talking a moment ago about seeing the bald eagle in the wild, something that back when I was your age, in my 20s, it was on the list of endangered species.
Right.
Well, now they have populated to a point to where you see them all the time.
Well,
it's
not
amazing.
all the time.
Yeah.
But you see them, and it's magnificent.
Just 3 weeks ago, we were driving back from Columbus, coming down Route 23. I happened to take a look over. I thought, that's a big falcon. No, that's a bald eagle. First one I saw in flight. It caught my attention.
I saw one take off. I was at the creek in Frankfurt skipping rocks, and I saw one take off not 10 feet from me. Massive, flapped its wings. It was incredible.
Some of your Frankfurt showing out at the creek.
Down at the creek.
Skipping rocks. You bet. But now is a great time to see them. If you want to learn more, go to our website. You can learn more about the Department of Natural Resources Division of Wildlife. They say this is the time to spot those bald eagles. Lance Cramner, we saw him just a couple of weeks ago when the folks at Ross County Community Action was opening up their homeless shelter. And he has been involved with them for a number of years now, introduced at Ohio Chillicothe. And that's to help students with different transitioning in their life. So we're talking housing, transportation, childcare, all those things that if you're a student, but you've got a family involved, or maybe you're living on your own for the first time, Lance is your guy now. He can help you out. You'll find this information on our Litter Media X page. Enjoy an evening of live jazz music and fine Southern cooking. This is going to be taking place the E-Flat Jazz, the Winter Gala, coming up this Saturday, January 13th from 5 till 9 p.m. This event's going to be at the Riverside Conference Center in Chillicothe. There will be vendors available for shopping, and the cost is $40. Shotokan Karate, and I hope I'm saying this correct, focuses on developing the body and improving one's character and mental discipline. You can register today at the Pike County YMCA on their website at the programs link. I took karate when I was in junior high, and it was a great discipline. I didn't stick with it. I went as far as, I don't think I got a belt.
I didn't get it. I did it for a few weeks, never got a belt, and then I didn't do it anymore.
Now, one of my high school girlfriends, her brother was a black belt and taught it. You talk about how to keep your sister's boyfriends in line, be a black belt in karate. Mm-hmm. That took care of that situation. So, and he was on our radio show many moons ago because later in life he became an author and he started writing books. And so he said, "Hey, you might have me on the show one day?" I said, "Sure, come on up."
And he beat you up.
No, because he was on a phone, so that worked out. I love those phone interviews because you didn't have to sit there and be intimidated by a black belt karate artist. But there could be a bunch of them coming out of the dojo down at the YMCA. So check that out again in Pike County. And the Pioneer Center has their next Employment First Council meeting coming up on January 23rd. That'll be at 10 a.m. It'll be at Creekside Occasions. This meeting is open to employers, employment agencies, school district personnel, and anyone who's interested in learning more about increasing employment opportunities for individuals with disabilities here in Ross County. I've known a number of people who have gone through this program as students at Pioneer Center, transitioning into working into the workforce out in the community. They're fantastic people, and they really brighten your day. Mm-hmm. They really do. You may be having a tough day at the job, and here comes this coworker that's nothing but smiles and hugs, and that changes everything for you. It really does. Yeah. Again, you can find more details on that on our Facebook page here with Litter Media. Coming up, we'll take a look at sports in just a bit, and this date in history, not one, but two things come to mind. We'll share with you in a moment. But first, let's tell you about Scioto Valley Dumpsters. If you got a need for a dumpster, whether it be home or out at your business, you've got a big project going on and you got to throw all that stuff somewhere, all the things you're getting rid of, put it in a dumpster, and then let Scioto Valley Dumpsters haul it away for you. Give Carl a call, 740-253-8389, and he'll get it taken care of. One of his team members will be right there. It might even be Carl himself. Tell Carl Dan and Mike sent you. And today, Dan and Aaron. 740-253-8389 for Scioto Valley Dumpsters.
Kingston National Bank was founded in 1909 by local businessmen. The concept of a local bank supporting our community's financial needs with local decisions made sense. This is Phil Evans, President and CEO of Kingston National Bank. I invite you to make KNB your bank. We continue to make local decisions that benefit our communities. Experience innovative products and excellent customer service. When you need us most, you can count on KNB. Our community, your bank. Kingston National Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Opportunity Lender.
At Rathkamp Financial, we act as your advocate in all wealth matters. We believe in long-term relationships and working to earn your continued trust with our customized investment solutions. Our greatest satisfaction comes from working with clients for many years and helping them realize their dreams.
Whenever I first applied for the Archways opportunity, oh, do I have to pay this back? Do I have to do that? Like, is it a loan? And it's not. It's a scholarship. A goal of mine is to graduate college debt-free. If you're a crew member, you get $2,500 a year, and if you're a manager, you get $3,000. And especially if you're going locally to college, like to the branch or something like that, it's really helpful.
And if you'd like to learn more about the Archways to Opportunities and also becoming a McCrew member, make sure you stop in to any one of our local area McDonald's in Circleville, in Greenfield, here in Chillicothe, and also in Waverly, because today from 2 until 5 is your opportunity to meet with the manager and have an open interview.
It is a Wednesday, isn't it?
It is. It is. So stop in and say hi at McDonald's.
I'm loving it. I didn't see you pointing at first.
It took Mike a while to catch on as well, but let's do it one more time. We didn't rehearse this.
Okay.
At McDonald's.
I'm loving it.
You got to put a little more love into it.
I'm loving it.
A little more like, I'm loving it.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm loving it.
We'll work on that. We'll do our best to get him to loving something here. All right, coming up in a moment, this date in history, but let's take a look at sports. So we had some coaching changes, some new head football coaches, and one of them a familiar face. The 2024 high school football season will have Mark Weber returning back to the gridiron. He, of course, has spent 10 seasons with Tays Valley. He is an alma mater of Tays Valley, or alumnus, I should say, of his alma mater, Tays Valley. He was 63-39 with a handful of Mid-State League championships during those 10 seasons. He'll be the new head coach at Mount Vernon for the Yellow Jackets, which I always thought was kind of funny because they have black and orange as their colors, but they are the Yellow Jackets.
Well, yeah, look at the little bee right there.
Mm-hmm.
He's a Yellow Jacket.
Chillicothe used to be in the OCC with Mount Vernon in the same division, and we used to make that trip a lot up to Mount Vernon to watch the Cavaliers play.
Right.
John Rose and I made a trip during the basketball season in which there was 7 inches of snow by the time we got there. It started snowing, and by the time we got there, we counted on both hands how many people were in the stands that were not associated with the team. They were just coming to watch the Cavaliers play.
How many true fans were there?
There were 9. That was excluding administrators, anyone with the cheerleaders, anyone with the basketball team, and John and myself. So, yeah, that was a long trip in a Ford Pinto back in the day. All right. That's not the only head coach being announced yesterday. Thanks to our buddy Paul Boggs down at Memphis, they have a new coach. His name is Jordan Michael, and Jordan was hired last night by the Memphis School Board as the new head coach to fill the shoes of Jesse Ruby. The Falcons were 4-5 last season. Quickly on Mount Vernon, they were 2-8 last year. So good luck to both those coaches. And Mark's a good guy. I hate the fact that he stepped down last year, but he wanted to spend more time with his family. Apparently, it's like, okay, enough, get dad out of the house again. So he's back in the coaching ranks up in Mount Vernon. And I have yet to meet Jordan Michaels, so maybe we'll see him during the football season next year. All right, Litter Media Game of the Week is coming up. We'll tell you more about it right now. The game of the week is South Webster at Waverly. Both those teams suffered losses last night, so they will be looking to rebound in their battle against one another down at the downtown gym in Waverly. Our coverage will start about 7:15. We'll have a preview of this game. We are scheduled to speak with Kyle Bradley today, Waverly's new head coach, and we'll unfortunately not be able to catch up with Norm Person because he is in the hospital from what we understand. So he's missed the last couple of games for the South Webster Jeeps, and Norm is closing in on, I think, 750 career victories, and so we wish him well, thinking about him while he is hospitalized. We know nothing more about his condition, anything like that, but Norm is a legend in Southeast Ohio. Just his college ranks, but also his personality. Yeah. It's pretty cool. So that is coming your way Friday. Let's take a look at what happened last night for you, though. And speaking of being in the hospital and back out, we want to say welcome back to the fray to Miami Trace's head coach, Ben Ackley. Now, I don't know that he was on the sideline coaching. I think he may have just been in attendance at the game last night. But it's tough to keep a coach away from his team when they're in battle. And, of course, we mentioned to you last week he had a recent heart attack and spent a couple of days in the hospital. So glad to see he's back on his feet again. Miami Trace, a winner over Chillicothe last night, 45-35. So now they remain undefeated in the Frontier Athletic Conference to start the second round. Courthouse also picking up a win over Hillsboro, and Jackson keeps on winning as well with a win over McLean. SVC, you see there, Zane Trace picked up a win, so they remain undefeated in conference play. Unioto and Westfall trying to keep pace, both of them with one loss each. Look at that Adena score. How about the alma mater there, buddy?
Yeah, let's go.
They have won, I think, 5 straight, 6 straight, something like that. They're on a hot streak. So, and I remember hearing people talk about Adena the last couple of years. They're so close to making something happen, and it sounds like it's starting to come together. I think they had like 5 overtime games last year, and they all kind of went the other way. And so
sounds like the Blue Jackets.
Yeah, which we'll touch on here shortly. Girls basketball, Circleville keeps on winning. They're still undefeated, 51-34 over Bloom Carroll. Tays Valley trying to keep pace with a win over Logan Elm. Liberty Union, Amanda Clear Creek picking up wins and more. You can see all those scores on our website, littermedia.com. Blue Jackets took on, was it Winnipeg last night?
There's the logo right there. I don't know. Couldn't tell you.
And
they stink. The Blue Jackets stink.
It's too small for me to see, but I want to say they played Winnipeg last night. 5-0 was the final there. Oh, yeah. Even in the script, it says Winnipeg. So there we go. I can't remember what they're called. Are they the Senators?
Every time I hear the word Winnipeg, I think of Winnie the Pooh. Oh. So maybe they're the Winnipeg Pooh Bears.
Winnie the Pegs. No. I want to say Senators for some reason. Unless it's the Winnipeg Flyers. Maybe that's what they were at some point in time, or Winnipeg Jets.
Isn't there a Washington team called the Senators?
There is.
Is that what you're thinking of?
Maybe. I don't know. Can you tell I've really been following hockey here of late? Not the case. But the Blue Jackets, come on, guys. They've battled a lot of injuries. They've got a young team. They've got a new coach. Still trying to get it. And I know that there's people that have season tickets and they're going to the Nationwide Arena and they feel the same way. They want to see them get over that hump.
I think you just need to put on skates and get out there.
That will do nothing to help the team. Not at all. Might be there for the reasons of putting me in the hospital, maybe. I've got too many teeth, first of all, to be a hockey player. So, plus I've never been able to ice skate.
well, we put you out there as a distraction. And then the other team goes, what is this guy doing out here?
The distraction would take about 30 seconds because it would be that long to get out on the ice, fall, and then not move. The only distraction might be trying to see me get up. That might be the distraction.
When was the last time you ice skated?
Never.
Never?
Never. I've never been able to master roller skating. Why would I want to add a sharpened blade to that? You know?
That's fair. Last time I went ice skating was my sophomore year of high school, and I broke my fibula.
Really?
Yep.
Yikes. Now, I have skated across the parking lot, that kind of thing, trying to get to my car on ice. I have had issues there, but no, I can't say that.
In college, I was the guy with the Razor scooter, and I tried to ride that thing across ice a couple times. Never worked.
Do they say valiant effort?
No, I would be laughed at.
Or what were you thinking?
I probably can't say on air what I was thinking when I slipped on ice.
Yeah, I understand that completely. All right, coming up, a look at this date in history. Not one, but two. One from the world of military and the other from the world of sports. Details coming up right after this. For transportation options in Ross County, call Ross County Health District's Mobility Management Team, 740-779-9652.
Dixie Chopper, speed when you need it.
Visit your local Dixie Chopper dealer today or visit dixiechopper.com.
You haven't had vodka soda like this. No one has. Made with the world's smoothest vodka plus real juice. New White Claw Vodka Soda.
This date in history. We're going to turn the clock back to 1923. We were done with World War I.
100 years ago.
Yes, World War I had come to an end in November of 1918. Of course, that's when they signed the Treaty of Versailles and the whole deal. Well, American troops were still in Germany for 4 more years.
Just chilling over there?
Yeah, I mean, you've heard the chant for people that are running for office, 4 more years.
Yeah.
That was pretty much what it was. We don't want 4 more years. Bring us home. And this was in World War I. And it took an Ohioan to make it happen. Woodrow Wilson was the president during World War I, the Great War. And then came Warren G. Harding. And Harding said, let's bring our boys home. And so the occupation by the U.S. over in Germany came to a close, but I got to looking a little bit more at this, so I went to the History Channel to learn more. By the time the war ended in November 1918, more than 2 million American soldiers had served on the battlefields of Western Europe. More than 50,000 of them lost their lives. That last combat division left France in September of 1919. Though a small number of men stayed behind to supervise the identification and burial of their compatriots in military cemeteries. An American occupation force of 16,000 men was sent to Germany to be based in the town of Koblenz, or it might be Koblenz, as a part of the post-war Allied presence on the Rhine that had been determined by the terms of the Treaty of Versailles. The 1923 4 years later in Germany, the occupation troops were ordered home by President Harding. So, meanwhile, it says here in a little editorial portion, it says, meanwhile, the bitterness of the German population, demoralized by defeat and what they saw as the unfairly harsh terms of peace, of which the American occupation was part, grew even stronger. And think of all the German heritage that was over here, part of, making and building America. And then you have those who are in Germany that are like, we've never been to America. All we know is your guys are here. Would you leave, please? And then,
please get out of our backyard.
Several years later, we would have another dust up called World War II that really, it brought out the greatest of the generations. So that is that moment in time.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the sports this date in history. I want to thank Mark Sheldon, writer for MLB.com, and follows the Cincinnati Reds. He's a Reds beat reporter. His little tidbit today, on this day in history, 1973, the Reds, during the wintertime draft in the third round, selected a pitcher by the name of Ray Guy. The best I can tell you, he never threw a pitch for the Reds. Never threw a pitch for anybody in baseball. But we know Ray Guy for one thing. Wearing a Raiders uniform, he was the first pure punter to be elected to the Pro Football Hall of Fame.
So
Ray
he's
Guy,
a good punter.
14 seasons as the Raiders punter. And it's a tough position to fill. He did it so well. He was a lanky fella, and man, he could put the ball in the air. And hang time, if you needed the distance, he could make it happen. And the strange thing was, he was skinny as a rail. And you see some of these punters today, they've got these big thighs, and a big leg and all that kind of, but not Ray Guy, buddy. Just send me that football that probably still has stickum on it from the hands of the defensive backs, and I'm just going to turn it loose. And he did a great job. Ray Guy. I think he's the only pure punter in the Pro Football Hall of Fame. Go to Canton to find out.
I've never been up there.
You've never been there?
Nope.
You need to make the trip. Here, 2019, I think it was. Might have been 2018. We took the Lear Media cameras up, had a little sit down, talked with one of the folks from their media department. And at that time, they were coming out with new technology. And this technology was an iPad that was on a stand, and you could put this iPad in front of, in the demonstration they gave to us, was John Madden and Michael, host of Pyramid, Michael Strahan. You could put this iPad in front of them and they would respond to questions that you asked. The bust would speak.
Like AI?
In their voice. Yeah. It was really cool.
It's unnerving.
Now, back when John Madden was inducted into the Pro Football Hall of Fame as a coach, he talked during his speech about, I'd like to hear the conversations when they close the doors, they turn off the lights. I'd like to hear the conversations between all those busts in the Hall of Fame. And that's where this became a possibility. Right. I guess they had him sit down. They asked him a few questions. And so you could ask a question, and then through that iPad, he would respond to you. The video of this is on our website or on our YouTube channel. If you go to Litter Media on YouTube and just search Pro Football Hall of Fame, it should pop up for you. And you get a chance to see who the inductees were going to be for that year and everything. We had a nice time. It was a nice ride. It's a 3.5 hour trip to get there.
Right.
But well worth it, man. Chillicothe played Canton. Or not Canton, they played Akron Firestone in a tournament game. And this was, again, I'm bringing John Rose's name up again because he was my broadcast partner at the time. He and I think the statistician with us that year was his buddy Steve. And we went up to Canton early. And this was 1993. We went up early so that we could be in place and take a look at everything because the game was being played at the Canton Civic Center. So it wasn't a very far drive for us to go and to check it out. I was there for the Pro Football Hall of Fame game in 1985. That was Garen Veris's rookie year. where the Patriots were playing were they still St. Louis? No, they were the Arizona Cardinals at the time. Or maybe they were the Phoenix Cardinals. The Cardinals have moved to Arizona at the time. What are they now? Are they Phoenix or Arizona?
Arizona.
Okay, so they were the Phoenix Cardinals then.
Okay.
So we had this opportunity. Troy Gray, Pastor Troy from Zion Baptist Church, he and I made that trip. We went up to see the Cleveland Indians play the New York Yankees on that Friday. Am I boring you with this story?
No, I'm sorry. I don't know what that was wrong.
Am I boring you with this story? We went up on Friday. Chillicothe native Scott Bales was pitching in relief for the Indians. So I managed to get an interview with him on that Friday night. It was a doubleheader with the Yankees in Old Municipal Stadium. And then we went and spent the night in Medina and then drove on to Canton the next morning to go watch Guerin play, and at what's now the Hall of Fame Stadium. Back then I think it was Canton McKinley High School's football field. And Canton McKinley High School is right there, and they were using the gymnasium as the locker room for the teams because there just wasn't a facility for them. And at that point in time, you've got, 80, 90 guys on the roster? So you needed to have room for them to change in and out of their uniform and everything. So they had this big curtain down the mid-floor stripe, and that divided the Patriots and the Cardinals for the locker room there at the gymnasium. A little bit of history for you.
There we go.
That just shows that I'm old. And the old sometimes talk a little too long and makes the younger generation a little bit.
Gonna lull me into a nap after this.
Yeah. He'll curl up over on the side here. He'll have his little warm glass of milk and his blankie, and we'll tell him a story.
I've actually never taken a nap before. Fun fact about me.
Sometimes we nap during the show. So, maybe you've taken a nap and didn't realize it.
During the commercial breaks.
All right. That's it for the program today. If you missed it earlier, we had an interview with our friends from Logan Elm Schools, Tim Williams, also Joanna Strasser. That is available here on our Facebook page. Is it up on YouTube yet?
It is on YouTube.
Okay, it is on our YouTube channel as well. And they talk about the new digs they have at Logan Elm that they opened up in late August, and a bunch of happy folks up there because they waited a long time to get that new building. So congratulations to them. Again, you can learn more about that here on Facebook and also on our YouTube channel. Until tomorrow, we'll talk to you again here on Litter Media. For Aaron Glandon, I'm Dan Ramey, and for the healing Mike Smith, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday.